Good morning, Eastwood, 3rd through 5th. How you guys doing today? Good. And I want to welcome everyone joining online, all the schools across North Colorado. Welcome to Eastwood and our live stream event this morning. We're humbly and honored to have you guys and be your hosts for today. We have some special guests in the room. Everyone, just turn your heads real quickly. We have our superintendent. We have some community members. We have Dr. Savar, some executive staff. Turn your heads over here this way. Mr. Ernesto Centeno's been helping. Turn your heads this way. We have some IT department people that have been helping. So give them a round of applause for all they've done for today. Esteemed guests, thank you guys for coming and participating in this event today. I have some people that I would like to introduce. We have a very special author that's coming to read to us today, but I have a couple of people I want to introduce before that. So first off, give a round of applause for Pastor Jack Miranda.
Good morning, Eagles. We are here to help you understand, even at a better level, money. Somebody say money. Money. We have some special guests for you, and I need to let you know that this is my favorite elementary school. All 7 of my children have come to this school. I've got a grandchild here, and we're going to have a good time. This is adult talk, and we want you to listen. We have some children's books that speak at a level of understanding on what subject? Money. Thank you. Money. Money's important. And we want you to learn it at a level of understanding that you can get. And so our speaker is Sheila Bear. But before that, I want you to meet somebody else that's real important and thinks that you're important enough to hear this message today. Now, we're not going to wait till you get your first paycheck as an adult. We want you to get this today. So please be good listeners. And if you have questions, there's going to be a time where principal will be able to line you up and say, who has a question? And you'll be able to answer the questions. Okay? So good morning. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to introduce you to somebody very important to me. Her name's Faith Bautista. And she has a big heart for children and for people who need a better understanding of money. And so I'm going to let her introduce our guests. So do you know how to clap and welcome somebody? Yeah. Clap and welcome Faith Bautista.
Thank you, Pastor Jack. Good morning. You know, when I was a little girl like you, I did not have any toys. I did not even have shoes like you guys. I didn't have dolls. My sister was making me a doll. But I was a happy child because I had loving parents and I have friends that loves me. So, I get goosebumps. You are so blessed. You're so blessed because you have beautiful clothes. Look at that clothes. You got beautiful shoes and you have this beautiful school. And today, you're another blessed day because a very, very important person. Do you know that she was the number 2 very important person in the world? Wow! So you listen to her, because if I would have had her at your age, I don't know what I'm gonna be, but I'm very happy now. It's how I treated my life. So what I want you guys to do today is really understand what she'll be teaching you. Because this is an opportunity that you will be this person that I'm going to be introducing. He is an executive vice president. Wow! You know what that means? What's executive? Sounds influential, sounds rich, sounds intelligent. But Stan worked very, very hard also. I don't know if he was like me when he was growing up, but because he studied money, he studied education, and he followed the rules, he did not cheat, he became an executive of a big bank. Do you guys know banks? Yeah, you will learn more about that bank. So let me introduce to you a good friend, a big heart, and I want you to say thank you to him because their bank and Stan Ivy himself has a big heart. So Mr. Stan Ivy?
All right. Well, thank you, Faith. I appreciate the heart comment. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I also want to thank the National Diversity Coalition for bringing us all together here today, and also for the opportunity to see my former boss, Sheila Bear. So as Faith mentioned, I work for a Bank of California, and we help people manage their money. And today, we are here to teach you how to manage your money, because managing your money is super important, like maybe one of the most important things. Because with money, you need money to get the things in life that you need: a place to live, clothes, food, but also you can use it for things that you really want, like a new toy or a video game. But here's the thing about money. You usually have to earn it. When I was your age and I would ask my dad for money, he would say, money doesn't grow on trees. And he would make me, clean my room or mow the lawn to earn that money. But here's the thing, when you earn money, you want to protect it. And a good thing to do is to put your money in a bank to save it until you really need it. But you also have to make sure that the bank protects your money. And that's what Sheila Bear did when I worked for her. She was the chairman of the FDIC, and she was in charge of protecting all of the money in all of the banks in the entire country. So she's definitely an expert about money. And she was a tough boss, too, but also a good boss. In fact, as Faith mentioned, she was considered the second most powerful woman in the whole world. That's how important managing your money is. And she's here today to talk to us about how you can manage your money. That's pretty cool. So let's give her a big welcome, Sheila Bear.
Yeah, I'll start with Rock and Brock. This one. I'll take this too. Well, thank you for those very kind introductions. It's great being here with you today. As Stan indicated, I'm the former chair of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and back then my job was to keep money safe that people had put into banks. And usually banks do a very good job taking care of your money and keeping it safe, but every once in a while they may make mistakes, and that's why it's important for the FDIC to be there to make sure you can always have access to the money you put in banks. How many of you have been to a bank? Yeah, most of you. Okay, how many of you have bank accounts?
My parents do.
You do? Okay, close enough. Well, I'm sure your families at least do it. And sometimes children have savings accounts. There are a lot of banks that offer special savings accounts for children for those small balances. The FDIC guarantee, though, that the level of money that we protect isn't unlimited. There's something called an insurance cap. Does anybody know what the maximum amount is that the FDIC will protect? Yeah. You want to take anybody want to take a guess? Sure, what's your guess? 100,000?
500 million.
500 million. What's your guess?
500K.
500K, that's a good guess, yeah. Oh, there she is. Yep, that's it. 250,000 per account. Yay! Very good. Because that's important too for households to always stay below the insured deposit cap. And most of us don't have anywhere that amount. It would be nice to have more than $250,000 to put in a bank. But for most people, that's sufficient. And then you can put money in different banks if you need more coverage than that. There are other ways. So Banks are one of the safest places to put your money, and it's important to keep your money safe because you need money, right? What do you need money for? Yeah.
Like houses and
Yeah,
food and
housing.
clothes.
Yeah. Anything else? What do you need money for?
We need money for shoes.
Yeah.
Money for a car.
Yeah.
We need money for our electricity bills, our water bills. There's a lot of bills.
You need money for a lot of things. Yeah, so that's important to understand what you need money for and then what you want it for, right? Needs versus wants. That's a very life insurance. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Some people need. What do you need money for?
You need money for paying rent if you live in like an apartment
Yeah.
or a condo.
Right.
You also have to pay, I don't know, my dad said that you have to pay, I think more than $1 million or less. He said he has to pay a lot for a house.
You need money. Yeah. So housing, food, transportation, utilities, electricity, Wi-Fi probably. Lots of things you need money for, just for the basics of living. And then there are things, maybe you want, right? Toys, games, that kind of thing. So needs and wants, those are two different things. And it's always important to make sure you have enough money to cover your needs and also to save a little money too. It's important to save. And that's what my first book is about, Rock and the Savings Shock. It's about the importance of saving money, and through something called compounding, which is a magical math idea that we don't need to get into the math complications. But through compounding, if you save money regularly and start early, your money will go really, 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 really large. So this is my very first book. It came out in 2006 because now, I kept people's money safe when I was chair of the FDIC. And now I try to help people keep their money safe by providing education for young children. I think it's important for you to start learning about money at an early age, right? Because you get money, right? You interested in money? Money's important, right? Yeah, okay. So let's learn about savings and compounding. That's a really, really important lesson for managing your money. And again, this is my first book, so it's called Rock, and the Savings Shock. This is the tale of Rock and Brock, twins as different as ball and block. Rock ate good food, Brock gobbled junk. Rock liked to bathe, and Brock kind of stunk. Rock studied hard while Brock watched TV. Rock rose at dawn, Brock slept till 3. Rock was nearly a perfect guy, but here's the thing, he loved to buy. His brother Brock lived like a slob, but saved his money by the gob. One day their Gramps, a kindly man, proposed to them a savings plan. For 10 straight weeks, each Saturday, I'll give you each $1 pay. To mow my lawn and wash my car, these simple chores will get you far, because I'll do a little trick. Each buck you save, I'll match it quick. Spend it, there's no extra dough. So save your cash and watch it grow. Then Gramps paid out, true to his word, $1 to each, and here's what occurred. Brock saved his, but Rock's mind was stuck on what he could buy with his crisp new buck. Right away, he ran to the mall and bought a moose head for his wall. Yeah, an inflatable moose head, go figure. For $1, yeah, it's a dollar store. The next week, Gramps gave out more bread, $1 each, just as he said. Rock had one, Brock now had 2. Brock saved his dough, Rock wanted to, but couldn't resist the urge to buy a giant wind-up tsetse fly. Well, there you go, he's buying more junky stuff at the dollar store. He's not saving it. The third week, Gramps paid out some more. He matched Brock's 2 bills up to 4. He's getting bigger and bigger. Every week it's doubling because he's saving it all. Rock got one because he had no savings. Still, he gave in to spending cravings. After all, what can a guy do with half price off on green hair goo? On week 4, Brock's dough redoubled. 4 to 8, Rock was befuddled. Rock got $1, which he promptly spent on wax fangs tasting like peppermint. Is there anything sillier that this kid won't buy? The next week, Brock was tempted to buy an awesome toy he wanted to try, a rocket ship with a pop-off hatch. But if he bought it, he'd lose his match. He stopped himself when he reached the store, and so Gramps paid him $8 more. Yeah, if he'd spent that money, he wouldn't get the match, but he didn't spend, he saved and got $8 more, another full match. With nada for savings, yep, Rock got just one. He bought some broccoli-flavored gum. Yeah, what is up with this kid? Yeah. Gramps paid out from summer to fall. While Brock saved his, Rock spent it all. He found toys for a dime at a yard sale, a car with 3 wheels, a polka dot snail. He bought such bargains with his cash, clown ears, fruit hat, a big mustache. Soon, Rock, the neater of the boys, found himself waist deep in toys. Look at all that junk he's wasted his money on. But Brock's cash grew and grew and grew, 8, then 16, then 32. His pile of bucks became so great he had to store them in a crate. 10 weeks went by, poor Rock was doomed. He had no cash, Brock's had ballooned. With matching dollars at the end, Brock had $512 to spend. Wow, yeah. So Brock used his cash to buy nice things, a telescope to see Saturn's rings, a book for Mom, a shirt for Dad, for Gramps, a robe of tartan plaid. With $50 left, what did Brock do? He opened a bank account for 2, FDIC insured. A joint account for him and his bro, a place to keep their hard-earned dough. Because Brock ate junk and he hated his bath. The one thing he knew his math. He saved his money like a miser, and of the twins, he proved the wiser. By seeing Brock's humongous take, Rock finally realized his mistake. From that day on, he saved his loot and gave up on his spending toot. The twins stashed bucks in their account. For years and years, they watched them mount. And by the time both had gray hair, they found that they were millionaires. So there you go. You like the book? Good. By saving regularly. Yeah, good. So banks don't really double your money. That's a really high. You can't get that much when you put money into a bank, but they do pay something called interest. So if you put money into a bank, it's usually expressed as a percentage. So right now, you can get what, Stan, about 5% in some bank savings accounts? Yeah.
I've heard it, if you get a credit card instead of a debit card, that once you pay off the bank's interest,
yeah.
Because once you've paid for something, you're not using your money, you're using the bank's money.
Oh, golly.
They want
Yeah.
interest.
So let's not go there. So that's credit card, that's debt. We got another book called Billy the Bar and Bluefin' a Booby, which I think you'll have. But yeah, so let's talk about savings now.
The streamers cannot hear some of the questions. So
I'll repeat them. Okay, good. So let's talk a little bit. So this is a question about credit card debt, and that's a different topic. And I've got another book about debt that maybe your teachers can read to you later. I think we've donated all their 8 Money Tales books. Let's talk about savings, though. Let's talk about savings. Credit card is a form of borrowing. That can be dangerous, but let's talk about savings. So if you put money into a savings account at a bank, you can get something called interest. And that's usually expressed as a percentage, an annual percentage. So for instance, if the bank is paying you 5%, if you left $100 in your bank account for a year, you get an extra $5. And over time, if you just leave that money in there for a long time, you will end up making a lot of money because it's something called compounding. And if you keep adding to your savings and you get that interest, it can grow into a really big amount. So that's why it's important for people in an early age to understand the earlier you start savings, the better, because the longer it stays earning interest, there's something called compounding that will make it grow and grow and grow. The way Brock's money grew and grew and grew through this doubling that his grandpa was paying him. So good. So we're going to read another book, okay, and then we'll take some more questions. This is a second book called Princess Persephone's Dragon Ride Stand. It's a more recent book, and it's about something a little different. It's about making decisions based on impulse, and also it's about entrepreneurship, about starting a job and starting a business, and how hard it is to earn money and how easy it is to spend it. And because it's so hard earning money, you want to be really, really careful when you spend it. And the heroine in this story was not so smart about spending her money. So let's read this story and see what happens. Princess Persephone's Dragon Ride Stand. A princess named Persephone Tweed lived on the far moon of Ganymede with her dad King Harris and Dragon Spice in a castle made completely of ice. Ganymede was a cold, wintry place, orbiting Jupiter out in deep space. Everything frozen, it snowed all the time. The princess thought she'd go out of her mind. She hated her ice bed and toilet. Ooh. She hated wearing 3 layers of fur. She hated sledding and she didn't ice skate. I've nothing to do. Oh, woe is my fate. She woke up one morning bored as could be, plumped up her pillow, turned on the TV. To her surprise, she saw kids just like her, playing around at a place called Big Sur, floating on water, ice thawed by the sun. Said Persephone, that looks like fun. Beaches of Earth was the name of the show. The planet was almost all H2O. Green hills, blue seas, and 2 caps of ice. Third from the sun, the place sounded nice. Please, may I go? She begged her poor dad. If you say no, I'll be so very sad. I'm sure that distant little blue dot will make the perfect vacation spot. Yeah, she wants to go to Earth where it's warm. But Harris told her, certainly not. Rid yourself of that frivolous thought. Earth is hot and the trip is pricey. You stay here where it's nice and icy. The princess decided she'd show her dad. I'll go on my own, let him get mad. Spice, fly me up to Saul's spaceship bay and get my checkbook. We shop today. Spice was reluctant. She had some doubt, but then the princess started to pout. Spice took her to Saul's where they found a cool ship, bright pink with a game room. Ooh, it was hip. The princess asked Saul, how much for this ship? He shook her hand with a firm salesman's grip. Congratulations, you are in luck. It's only 1 million Ganymede bucks. Persephone cried, 1 million, oh drat. I thought it would be much cheaper than that. I've 100,000, oh I'm so poor. I need to have 900,000 more. She turned to Spice, purple eyes aflash. How will we ever get that much cash? Do something, dragon, I'm counting on you, or I'll hold my breath until I turn blue. She wants that spaceship. A million Ganymede bucks is expensive, but she wants it. Now Spice, she had a magic thought cap given to her by her great uncle Hap. She put it right on and danced a quick tap, had an idea in a snippety snap. This is the plan and I'm not bragging. Sell rides on me, your flying pet dragon. But don't tell Harris what we're up to if he finds out we're in a hot stew. Persephone and Spice plotted and planned. The next day they opened their dragon ride stand. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I'd pay for a dragon ride. Moms with their kids passed by them all day. They looked, they lingered, but no one would pay. What's wrong? The princess cried in a huff. I never thought this would be so tough. Why won't they buy? She asked in a tizzy. I'm so upset, I'm feeling quite dizzy. Yeah, but look how much she's charging, $100,000 Ganymede dollars a ticket? That's a lot, isn't it? Spice shrugged and donned her magic thought cap. She cartwheeled into Persephone's lap and figured it out in a snippety snap. I've got it, princess. We're charging too much. Your sign says 100,000 bucks. That price for most folks is way too high. Charge 10,000 and see if they buy. They slashed the price by 90% and sold 10 tickets. Quite an event. 100,000 bucks was their take, with 800,000 left to make. She's still got a long ways to go to get that million, doesn't she? That night, the princess cried in despair. We need more money. It's so unfair. How will ever I buy my pink ship? She sighed a deep sigh and stuck out her lip. So Spice put on her magic thought cap. She stood on her head and made her wings flap, had this to say in a snippety snap. Offer 2 rides, give a third for free. Then we'll sell lots more tickets, you'll see. Ganymede moms will love this promotion. 3 for 2 will cause quite a commotion. 20 tickets they sold the next day. 10 bonus rides they gave clean away. 200,000 bucks was their take, with 600,000 left to make. Okay, she's whittling it down, but still has 600,000 to go. Still the princess was sad and blue. Oh, dragon, whatever shall we do? I can't ask my dad, we're in a jam. We need 600,000 more clams. Exhausted, Spice got her magic thought cap. She sat down and gave her face a hard slap, then spoke these words in a snippety snap. 30 rides and I'm ready for bed. We can't sell more, my wings feel like lead. But why don't we just offer instead kids' names and smoke in the sky overhead? That's an interesting idea. Skywriting names was quite an endeavor, and the next day they made the most cash ever. Spice wrote the names with style and finesse, 40 times over, what a success. Kate, Mike, Amelia, Naya, and Chuck, each of them priced at 5,000 bucks. 200,000 bucks was their take, with now 400,000 left to make. The following day, business was fair. Spice wrote 20 kids' names in the air. 100,000 bucks was their take, with 300,000 left to make. The next day it rained an icy muck. They didn't make one Ganymede buck. A great big fat nothing was their take, with 300,000 still to make. But then they got lucky and none too soon. The wealthiest mom on Ganymede Moon asked to rent Spice for one whole day, a special treat for her son's birthday. How much for the dragon, she asked the princess. Will $500,000 do? The princess said yes. We guarantee your son will have fun, but payment is due when the job's done. Spice did the party, they got their dough. They headed for Saul's, all systems go. They paid $1 million bucks for the ship, with 200,000 left for the trip. At light speed, they reached the Earth in good time. They landed right on the equator line. At last, the princess had reached her retreat. She just couldn't wait to feel all that heat. What do you think is going to happen? As the hatch opened, Persephone swooned. The air hit her like a red-hot monsoon. Ah, she shouted, close that door quickly. Eek, the heat makes my skin all sticky. Her dad tried to warn her, didn't he? Spies tried to find a place that was colder, flying north as Persephone smoldered. Even the Arctic's ice, white and gleamy, Persephone found far, far too steamy. So there they are. On the beach blankets, it's still too hot for her on Antarctica. I want to go home was her command. So back they went to Ganymede land. Safe at the castle, they fell into bed. Spice with her cap still snug on her head. Spice woke up at dawn to Persephone's call. She went to her room at the end of the hall. She found her in bed, the TV set blaring, eating a breakfast of frozen white herring. Oh, Spice, wailed the princess, what a dumb trip. $1 million gone on that pricey pink ship. I worked so hard and I've nothing to show but a red sunburn from my head to my toes. There, said the dragon. Please don't pout. At least the king didn't find us out. But next time you buy, please think it through to make sure it's really right for you. Okay, said the princess, wiping her eyes. I'll be extra careful with my future buys. She sat up and smoothed her sheets of pink flannel and decided she'd watch the Business Channel. Each year after that, the Princess and Spice would launch a business with the king's advice, sharpening sled rails and washing spaceships, walking reindeer, selling flavored ice chips. They saved their cash for the princess's college, where she acquired financial knowledge. She always spent wisely, which brought her great mirth, especially travel, but never to Earth. So there you go. She had a happy ending after all, didn't she? Yeah. So what was, good, you like this book too? I like both these books. So what was Persephone's mistake, do you think? Who wants to tell me Persephone's mistake? Yeah, back there. I'm sorry, could you speak up a little bit, sweetie? Spinning around. So she saw an ad on TV, didn't she? And she made a decision. I want to go to Earth. This looks great. You know, she just didn't research it. She talked to her dad. Her dad tried to warn her. It's too hot. But no. She made a snap decision on impulse. She wanted to go to Earth. And so that was her first mistake, wasn't it? Not thinking through whether this was something she really wanted to do, not researching it more. What other mistakes did she make? Yeah.
That she decided to spend all of her money on that ship.
Yeah. So she ended up spending $1 million Ganymede bucks, so $1 million, on a spaceship that took her to a trip that she found out she didn't even want to go. You know, and she worked so hard at that business. Well, she and Spice worked hard. She didn't even think about other things she could have done with that $1 million Ganymede dollars, did she, right? Think of all the other things she could have done that actually, if she'd thought about it more carefully, about how she wanted to spend that $1 million, she would have been able to do things that were meaningful to her instead of going to a trip that really was not, that was kind of a disaster, wasn't it? Yeah. Any other mistakes that she made, you think? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, she just didn't think it through, did she? Yeah, she just made a quick decision on impulse. She didn't research it. And then she ended up squandering $1 million on something that she found out she didn't really want. You know what that's called? That's called buyer's remorse. Yeah. Have you ever bought something you spent your good money on and then you found out it wasn't something you really wanted? That ever happened to you? Yeah. What did you buy? Did you buy something that you regretted buying? Yeah, what was it?
It was something very good. I decided to buy Roblox.
Roblox? Yeah. Yeah, Roblox. So she bought something on Roblox. So let me warn you about Roblox. Roblox is made to help, it kind of encourages kids to buy quickly without thinking it through. So I'd be careful with Roblox, but that's good. Thank you for providing an example. Anybody else ever buy something they regretted buying? Yeah? Yeah. You speak up if you could. Yeah, please, yeah. Do we have a mic that we could, is there another mic that the children could use? Or they could come up here, I guess.
They're gonna have to come up.
Okay.
I was buying a creepy toy.
Oh, what? You bought a creepy toy. A creepy toy. Yeah, I hear that a lot, when I ask that question to students when I do my readings. The toys that maybe they saw an ad, and then when they actually got it, it was kind of creepy. Or it was cheap, it fell apart, it didn't work. Yeah, did you buy something that you regretted buying? What did you spend it on what? Fortnite. Oh boy. So, you got to be really careful on the internet. You need to really be careful on the internet. The internet makes it really easy to buy what's called on impulse, making a snap decision, not thinking it through, not thinking about what else you could spend your money on that might be more valuable.
So if anybody has some questions, we can call up and they can come to the mic.
Okay, good. So let's, since the acoustics are hard and we've got some students watching remotely, when you have questions or comments, could you come up here and speak on the microphone? That would be great.
Teachers, could you pick at least one from your class? So your teachers will select one. That way they can ask the question. They can come over to me and then Miss Bear will answer them, and then we'll be wrapping up shortly after that. So quickly, if your teacher selected you, come on over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that all? Is that all? Is that all? Okay. You have your question ready? All right. Shh. Let's tell everyone who you are. So hold on. I'm going to ask, what's your name? You're going to tell me who you are and then your question. Okay? Who are you?
I'm Juliet Wilson.
And what is your question?
On how you made the books and why you made them.
So the question is, why you made the books and how you made the books. Okay, you go back. She got it.
So I wrote the books, actually. My first book, which I read to you, Rock and Brock, came out in 2006, so I've been at this for a while. And I wrote the books because when I was your age, I wanted to be a writer. And throughout most of my career, I wrote grown-up things about finance and money because most of my career has been spent with finance and money. But later in my life, I thought, I would like to try to write some fiction, but stories that have important lessons about money in them. And when I started, I was a mother with young children, and we would always love reading picture books to our children aloud at night. And I thought, wouldn't picture books be a wonderful way to help kids understand about money? Because it combines the words with the pictures, and I think that's a really powerful way to tell stories. And then picture books are read at home with the adults in the family too, and they might learn a little something too, because there are a lot of adults in this country who still struggle with understanding how to handle money and not lose money unnecessarily through things like impulse buying or not spending all their money and not saving some of it. So that's what inspired it. And I hope you enjoy it. And I think we've got some enough copies that maybe some of you can take the books home too. Yeah, good question.
What is your name?
I'm Allison Gracia.
And what is your question?
When were both of the books published?
So the first one came out in 2006, and actually there are 8 books total, and the last 2 came out in October. One's called Money Wizards, and one's called Daisy Bubble. Money Wizards is about inflation. That's a little bit of a different theme. Do you know what inflation is? Raise your hands if you know what inflation is. Yeah, so inflation's tough, isn't it? That's when prices for just about everything go up. And it's been really bad with housing and food, and there are ways. So I thought it was important for children and their families to understand some of the basic drivers around inflation. So that just came out in October.
All right, next student, what is your name? What is your question?
My name is Imogen Baker, and my question is, why do your books rhyme?
Oh, well, I love rhyme. I think wordplay is fun, and I think wordplay and rhyme makes the story more interesting. And my children, again, I was inspired by what my children really responded to when they were young, and we started with Dr. Seuss. I'm sure a lot of you have read Dr. Seuss books, and then later Jack Prelutsky, Shel Silverstein. There's some wonderful writers for children that use rhyming verse to tell stories and entertain. So I like it a lot. Not all of them. Isabel's Car Wash actually is the one book that's not in rhyme, but people, the feedback I get from families and their children is they really like the rhyming words. Good question.
And you are?
Sayla D.
Uh-huh.
What inspired you to write fiction books?
Yeah, so I think fiction is fun. When I was your age, I wanted to be a science fiction writer. Well, that didn't work out very well. It's hard, it's really hard. I think if any of you want to be writers, it's wonderful. It is very hard to make a living as a writer. I don't do this for income. I have other jobs that I do where I earn my income, I earn my living. And I found that early on that it was very hard to make a living as a writer. So I became a lawyer and pursued a different career, but I've always liked to write. And when I got older, I thought, fiction would be so much fun to tell stories. And I still think sometimes maybe I'll just write a science fiction book that's not even about money, just some fun book. But, it's fiction's nice because you can kind of let your imagination go wild. And but there's also nonfiction in the back of these books when you read them. There is nonfiction information at the back that you can read with your folks or with your teachers that will help you understand more about what's going on in the story.
And you are?
I'm Camila Sanchez, and were you worried if children would like your books when you published it?
What I was worried with the children. Oh, yes, I was terrified nobody would like my books. That's hard, when you're an author, you kind of put yourself out there, and here's my book. I hope you enjoy it, but, you get judged and evaluated, and that's fine. But yeah, no, I think all writers worry about whether readers will like their books and whether you were successful in communicating the ideas that you wanted to communicate in a way that the reader found entertaining and enjoyable. Yeah.
Our last question of the hour. You want to tell us who you are and your question?
I'm Lily Hobart, and my question is, what inspired you to make a book?
Yeah, so I think, most of my life I've spent in jobs as a federal regulator, as one who tries to oversee the industry that provides banking services and other types of services around money. And most of the people in that industry are good people trying to do the right thing. But there are some bad people, too, that want your money, that will, try to scam you or take your money or get you to spend money on things you don't really want. And then there are even, quite legal things that are provided that, when used correctly, can be helpful, but if used poorly, can really be harmful to families and their financial stability. Borrowing is one big problem. Borrowing more money than you can afford to pay back, and that really gets a lot of people into trouble. And I have another book called Billy the Borrowing Blue-Footed Booby that's about over-borrowing. But the point is, throughout my career, I've seen how the kind of heartache that is caused when people run into financial trouble. And that's really what inspired me to try to help. I think good laws that protect consumers are important, but also people need to know how to protect themselves too. And I think that a kind of education needs to start at an early age. So some of the heartache I've seen over the years as a federal regulator really inspired me to want to help families and help people at an early age understand how to protect themselves.
Well, can we give a round of applause to Ms. Sheila Bear?
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Thank you.
We say thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for coming and sharing your books.
Yeah.
Some of you are saying, well, those friends that ask questions got a book. The foundation let me know that everyone in this room will get a book to take home.
Yes, good.
So
good,
let's
good.
give it
I
up
hope
for
you enjoy
them.
them. Yes. Good. Okay, goodbye. Thank you.
Additionally, for our friends that are watching online, that you guys participated, your schools will be getting books sent to you as well, so more information will be coming. Dr. Lopez, could I ask you to come up just to say, Superintendent would like to say a couple words as we close out, so give him a round of applause as he comes.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. And Sheila, thank you very much for coming and sharing just knowledgeable information that we as students, or we as educators, want you as students to keep in mind as you progress in your life, right? And the importance of financial literacy. And thank you for the schools and the classmates of your classmates and at other schools that are joining us from throughout the district. So students, did we enjoy today? Yeah. Are you excited about receiving your books? Yeah. I'm excited for you. Let's give Ms. Sheila Bear another round of applause. Yeah. And I am curious from one of you, think about this question. Can someone share something that they learned today they're going to keep in mind as they progress in their future around the topic of money? So think about that. What's something you learned you're going to remember? Okay. Yes. To save money. That's a good start. Thank you. To save money. The importance of that, right, is not to spend foolishly, but to save your money. Yes. Save my money and spend it wisely. One more. Yes.
Borrowing is not good.
Borrowing is not good. That is correct. That is correct. Maybe if you lend money and you get interest on it, maybe that's good. Yeah. Well, boys and girls, let's have a great rest of the day. One final round of applause, and thank you so much.
Sure. All right, so before we dismiss, Ms. Sheila, if you would turn your chair around, they want to take a picture, so
good.
Yeah, with the group. So I will get my camera ready. Y'all just smile bright. No silly faces.
I guess? You want
I got you right there. No, that's perfect.
to...
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody give me a thumbs up for Money.
Money Channel,
There we go. Thank you guys so much. Give them one more round of applause for our production team. Thank you guys for making that happen. Oh, wait, I forgot. Our Mr. Joseph and his team came and helped out, so we want to really give a big round of applause for him. Also, you guys know about Eastwood TV. We have some students that were shadowing and learning about what real production looks like. So we have students in the back on the sound. They were working slides for YouTube TV. They were on cameras, slides. So give it up for your classmates and your peers. We all made this a success. But right now, I want you to look to your teachers for dismissal. We'll see you outside. Smile bright for picture day.